So these overlords are going to take a really, really long time to get into this Terran base. They're just sort of like on slow-mo mode here, just chilling out, taking their sweet time, just heading towards it. I would have liked to see, finally the speed upgrade kicks in for RaID, so now he's going to come in with these overlords. Looks like they're going to have free reign. This could be actually detrimental to Murdoc. He's been caught a little bit out of position, but the M&M ball is starting to react. The reinforcements were there. These Hydras have microed pretty nicely, though. They were able to pick off those initial foray of forces. Murdoc's coming in a bit piecemeal. He does have stim and can cuff his shells now. There's the stim going down, so I imagine he might be able to mop this up. If these Hydras are able to do much more damage, though, this is going to be devastating for Murdoc. He's been caught out of position with his reinforcements being caught off guard, and the Hydras are coming through on top. That +1 attack upgrade that they've got going on is helping out quite a bit. They're trying to snipe a few SCVs and supply depots here. This is going to be bad. He's going to attack with his SCVs. This could be detrimental for Murdoc, choosing to sacrifice his SCVs, but he's wisely trying to keep his main force in these bunkers so he doesn't lose too much in the way of his frontal forces and get too caught out of position. But he's basically lost all operations at his main here. He still has 1,000 minerals banked, but he has a missed rally point. They did change the way rally points work. They are no longer attack moves, they are actual moves, so that could really hurt Murdoc here. He's trying to engage these Hydras, stressfully trying to mop them up. This has been a really great drop for RaID. He was really getting good value out of these Hydras. He did micro them pretty well in that first drop, and now he's just getting extra damage. He'll burn off another supply depot, but the Thors have arrived. The big mock-up crew, the Mack truck on legs, are on their way, and they're just cleaning out this base. The poor SCVs were massacred before their Thor buddies could do something about it, but, you know, he is secured now. I'd imagine that we think about another Doom drop coming in there. It is Doom for the Overlords, that is. But, no, these Thors could be a difference maker, but I still think that RaID's nice macroing is very, very, very good here. He has been working on getting this natural up without going too heavily extra bases. We tend to see some Zergs will go for the 3rd or 4th base just because they think they have to, when in actual fact if they get their natural online and really pumping, they can actually focus more on getting out units. So I don't mind this play. I would like to see RaID try and sneak out an expansion at the hidden gold expansion while he strong points the open gold expansion, but you know, at this point, Murdoc is in a little bit of a critical situation. His main was basically taken offline. He does have drones going on at his natural, so he's not too badly off. And Terran, you know, is still pretty strong on one base. So, you know, he can still play his way back into this game. But RaID so far has had everything go his way. Now we're seeing a massive, massive Overlord drop, but only like 4 of them are full of units. So this is kind of a fake out here. I mean, I'm sure Murdoc is having a heart attack seeing this many Overlords, but there's only going to be a small smattering of units. So this is actually not too bad from RaID. Once again, it's nice play. Like, I think that was a classic little fake out there, although it is nice to move in extra Overlords so that the first wave of Overlords takes most of the damage. We're seeing the M&M ball and the Thors go to work here, though. The Thors should be able to mince through these Hydras. They will do quite a lot of damage with their increased range, and the M&M ball's taking most of the lines there. But the armory was sniped, so that should interrupt Thor production, so I'm not quite sure what the play is for Murdoc here.
That was a great choice of unit to get the Thor out. It really made the difference there. If he had them for that first attack, it would have been a much different game so far. As it is, he did clean up the second attempt at the Doom drop. Murdoc, I believe, was expecting it, as you should, after your main base gets basically taken out of action for a while because of it. It looks like RaID's actually going to persist with the drop. He's just got his rally point up to the gold expansion. You know, doesn't really want to actually use it. He's just using it as a as a rally point to basically keep all his Overlords. If he actually gets all these Overlords killed, he'll actually be completely supply blocked for a while. So, you know, he's got all his eggs in one basket. Now, they should be able to maneuver out of the way before they get taken out. But, you know, Murdoc is getting to the wise now. He does choose to get rid of this, you know, second basic base there for RaID. Now, he's moving out with these Thors. Not that much of a ground supporting army to go with it. He's got the 3 Thors and a bunch of Marauders. Now they're attacking now. These Thors going to town on these Hydras, retreating though, so they are getting attacked while they're moving back. One of them at the back going to get taken out. Oh, that's, you know, you have to lose a couple casualties, I guess, but the 2 do make it out, so not a terrible loss in the end. But yeah, he really needed a bigger army for that fight. So
yeah, these Thors, I don't agree with the complete evacuation there. Thors are a very expensive unit. It's a big investment, so I can understand why he pulled out of there. But once he was on that ramp, he really should have thought about leaving the Thors up there and positioning his Marine Marauder ball at the base of the ramp, forcing these Hydras to come in while they were in range of the Thors, and the Thors could actually go to town and force these Hydras to walk up the ramp before they could see them. So I think that the positioning could have been better there for Murdoc. Now we're finally seeing these siege tanks, which are just going to mince through these Hydras. But I just think at this point, RaID has interrupted Murdoc so much and harassed him so much that could be too little too late here. I really like the macro ability, although tanks are a pretty good counter for mass Hydra. He really needs to work some roaches into this ball, but now we're seeing a third expansion going up. So I like RaID's position here. I think he's being a little bit too passive, because if you let Terran 2-base you for too long, even if you get a third and a fourth expansion online, they can really do some devastating maneuvers on this map, and Terran is just really, really at home working these ramps. So there's nice creep being spread, so RaID is able to move his reinforcements in and out of his base quite crazily here, and we are seeing a group of overlords going in towards the back of Murdoc's base, but they're empty. This could be a positioning play if he moves these into Murdoc's base. But no, we're seeing these Hydras go to work in the front of the base, cleaning up through these barracks here, whereas we're seeing Murdoc trying to react to that fake drop, but now we're seeing Murdoc move out to the ramp. We could be seeing, no, they're not sieging up, they don't have it researched. This is terrible for Murdoc. These Hydras are going to work, but these SCVs are getting slaughtered, the expansion's down, the Thors are actually desperately trying to rack up the kills. One's got 7, one's got 9, but I think these Hydras are still going to work. They're 2-1, so they're seriously doing some serious damage, but the one Thor might just survive it. Murdoc has been almost taken out, but here come the Thor reinforcements, and we are seeing Wall of Thor here. And really, Murdoc needs to do some kind of desperate attack, which he does seem to be moving out across the map to make here. I'd like to see this SCP repairing this Thor. He should basically be committing the rest of his SCVs to repairing these Thors, because he's almost been taken out of this game. But he does have this wall of Thors, and they will do quite a lot of damage to these Hydras. It's going to come down to the positioning on this ramp. We are seeing this positioning now. He should move this damaged Thor to the back, and this Queen could be caught out here. Yes, the Queen's going to be taken out, so these Thors are cleaning up quite nicely. They should be able to take out these Hydras. It's just a case of whether RaID's macro is going to kick in.
Oh, this is chaos right now. These Thors getting taken out. Really, they're taking quite a few Hydras with them, but not nearly enough. Now, JT, what does the Terran player have left here? Does he have anything he can do?
I don't know. He's got no mining going on in either of his bases now. He's flying his command center to the gold in a desperate effort to up his mineral intake, but he's got no SCVs, or they're just starting to follow it. He's got nothing being produced from any of his Raxes. I think all but GG, yeah, and his final command center's getting taken out, and there we see the GG.
Seth, any thoughts?
Yeah, I like the play from RaID. I think he should have been a little bit more aggressive there and capitalizing early, but he controlled him, and as we've seen in a few replays lately, it's from a Zerg point of view, you don't have to end the game early if you've got macro control, and he didn't need to suicide himself into these bunkers until he was ready, so he played that really nicely. I do like the shadow play with the Overlords, and I also really like the fact that he just kept up the pressure into Murdoc's base. So, although the Printing Empire is working out pretty good for Murdoc, this game didn't go so well.
I like the Doom drop. I think it worked quite well for him at the start, and it was inventive play. I mean, he did catch him off guard at the start. The Thors did come out, but it wasn't nearly enough in the end, and he just kind of got pushed back, and there really wasn't enough left in the tank for Murdoc. And I think that's a wrap for that one, guys.
Adios.